You know, I know Pop's got pedigree and I'm a young rookie, but they're not going to rook us. That's unacceptable. That was unprofessional. My guys dug in that game and earned the right to be in that game, and they did not even give us a chance.
Hello and welcome to the Triangle Podcast, episode 24. We're Kobe's number for today.
The greatest of all time.
The greatest of all time. Last time it was 23.
The worst player.
We don't discuss 23. The curses of the world, the trash, the inhumane, the feces of the. No.
What number is Kelly?
Not crazy.
What number is Kelly Olynyk?
41.
Okay.
41.
That's gonna be the special edition episode.
Yeah, for real.
For the game he had.
MVP, greatest of all time.
How you guys doing today? It's episode 24 of the Triangle Podcast. We're here to discuss some NBA. I am the voice of the youth, Christian. Who we got with me today?
I'm Jesse, like usual.
And I am Will.
That does not sound like Jesus.
No. He quit. He retired. He's not in the podcast game anymore.
Ripped, tore, and shattered his elbow.
Yeah, I don't know. Jesus is a Jesus.
Yeah.
And he's doing, you know what? Maybe he's like the real Jesus, and right now he's just dead.
Maybe.
Waiting to be resurrected.
Yeah.
In the near future.
Maybe.
But as far as that goes, we are here at least to discuss some NBA
playoffs.
And I mean, I was on vacation, so that's why it was the absence of podcast. We actually have a valid excuse this time, but also I wanted to wait for the second round to be over completely. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, Game 7 happened yesterday.
Great game.
Wizards and Celtics.
Great game.
Phenomenal game.
What's your thoughts on that? I mean, we had the Celtics win.
By 10, I think, right?
I don't know the exact score.
I think it was 115 to
105. Yeah. The first three quarters, the first 2.5 quarters were very boring. No one made consecutive
it was just
shots.
Sloppy play.
Yeah, nobody could shoot.
And then the third quarter, just Boston turned it up. Isaiah time. Kelly Olynyk time, I'm sorry.
Well,
and then Boston just took over the game.
Well, third quarter, actually, in the beginning, the Wizards were sticking it to the Celtics.
Oh, of course.
The end of the first half, Wizards were cooking. Then, they picked up right where they left off in the second half, and then Boston just came back and took over.
Kelly Olynyk and Isaiah Thomas time.
Absolutely. They hit a couple key threes towards the end of the third quarter, and the lead just
piled
extended.
On from there.
Yeah, piled on.
Although Wizards they were able to come back a few times and even take over the lead, it always felt like they were down 15.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they played.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And in this case, it didn't work out for them. John Wall was completely...
Played like James Harden.
He acted like Jesus and wasn't here.
Yeah.
And his shots weren't going in. He was 0 for 10 in the last 10 shots.
0 for
11.
0 for 11. 0 for 7 from 3-point.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Damn. Beal, on the other hand, had a great performance.
Career high in points.
Definitely cannot be claimed the reason they lost because he proved his ass off.
He's the only reason why they were competitive in the game in the first place.
Yeah, Wizards bench 5 points.
5 points at one point. The Wizards bench had 5 points and Celtics bench had 35. Yeah, I believe so.
Kelly Olynyk, Marcus Smart, everything that needed to go right for the Celtics went right that day.
Jaylen Brown.
Oh my God, Jaylen Brown. Rebound.
The Odell Beckham of rebounds.
It was a beautiful rebound that fucking caught my eye, and I was hoping I wasn't the only one, and luckily I wasn't. But it was a great game, and it was a great showing for the Celtics. But is this just a race to be swept by LeBron James?
It's going to be over in 5.
I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I think maybe 6. I hope 6. I don't think that they are built to actually go, head to head and really challenge them for the Eastern Conference.
Not yet.
I think maybe next year, if they trade for a superstar, then I believe that they could really take it out of the Cavaliers' hands.
Or if they just get the correct player to fill their team.
The correct player in the draft.
And if they're nice.
Fultz does want to play with Isaiah Thomas, although I don't see how that could really work too well. They have a lot of guards, and I just don't see that working out that well without Isaiah going somewhere or Avery Bradley going somewhere, which would be a problem because Avery Bradley is one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA.
They need to keep Bradley. They need to keep Isaiah. They need to trade the pick. It's pretty much simple. Yeah. They waited for years. They wanted to get Jimmy Butler like 3 years ago. It's time for them to get Jimmy Butler or Paul George, even Blake Griffin, someone.
I don't know about Blake Griffin.
I would take a Blake Griffin.
I don't know how well he would play with Al Horford because if they did get Blake Griffin, they'd have to play him at the 5 because he's just not.
No, Al Horford played
at the
5.
bro.
Yeah, but Blake Griffin can't, shoot.
He could shoot from
Yes,
mid
he
range.
can.
He's not as good as Al Horford. Al
So
Horford.
what did that
Al
matter
Horford-
though?
Al Horford-
Paul Gasol plays center. He's a shooter.
Yeah.
I guess, but I don't know.
It'd be a deadly-
Boogie plays center. He's a shooter.
It'd be a deadly pick and pop though with Isaiah.
Or a
Yeah,
Davis.
but
in that
I
case.
believe Al Horford's skill set is more suited towards.
Carlin Towns
Power
plays
forward.
center. He's a shooter.
I feel like if you have both of those players, Horford is better suited to play 4. He can space you out better.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you play them.
I guess not, but defensively he matches up better.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good fit for them. And Al Horford's not that great, and Griffin, if he can stay healthy, is a great player in the league.
Yeah.
He's not a superstar.
I just feel like
Could've
they
been.
would. I feel like
Yeah,
the Celtics
but-
would be better off, getting that wing player. That I feel like they would be better off getting Paul George or Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy Butler. You go to the Bulls. Bulls wanted way too much last year. They wanted Bradley. They wanted Crowder, Smart, and the pick. I think if you give them Smart and Crowder and the pick, I think that's a way better value for the Celtics.
Yeah, because now it's a lock that it's a top 3 pick in the draft, so that they know what they're getting into now. And
Plus-
I give them tremendous props for Boston keeping the pick and being patient. Because next year, I really don't think if Boston does everything correctly, LeBron James will not be in the finals.
I think
But it all depends what they do.
I think they Boston wins the lottery tonight.
I hope.
Then that pick obviously is the first overall, and it gives a lot more value to that trade. Because then, if the Celtics can trade for that Jimmy Butler, that Paul George, then they have Isaiah Thomas, they have Jimmy Butler, they have Avery Bradley, hopefully.
Kelly
Horford,
Kelly
Olynyk,
Olynyk.
Jalen
Oh, boy.
Brown.
Well, we are gonna
Everybody.
give our initial reaction to the draft,
The lottery.
selection, the lottery. To later in the podcast, so definitely stay tuned to that. Or if you don't care anything about the playoffs, just skip to that. Whatever you want to do, it doesn't truthfully matter as long as you give us that listen. But
For real.
well, before we really get into our full-on predictions, because I want to get into a more in-depth prediction with the Cavs and Celtics. Wizards and Celtics was a great series.
Yes. Probably the best series of the playoffs.
Definitely was. We had some bruises. We had some physicality.
Battle of the
Kelly
Oubre.
Oubre
He was tight last night.
tried to touch the GOAT, Kelly Olynyk.
Yeah.
You can't touch the GOAT.
You
And
can't.
then he splashed
Is Kelly
26.
Olynyk the new Brian Scalabrine of the world?
I think Kelly Olynyk's
I think
way better.
he's 10 times better, but yeah.
Nobody's going to be better than Brian Scalabrine, but maybe
The
one
white-
day.
The Red Mamba?
Was it not the White Mamba? I don't know what
It's
color
the-
Mamba
it's-
is.
No, it was Red Mamba.
it's
right?
Red Mamba.
He has a ring, so never sleep on that much.
Doesn't he have more than one ring?
No, one.
No, he has
Just
one.
with
It's
08.
07, 08.
Yeah.
Or
You're
08,
right.
09.
Yeah, with Celtics.
Nevertheless, I just wanted to give a shout out to the whole series as a whole because that was a great series. But for Cavs Celtics, you got 5? Really?
I got 5.
I think
5 or
five's-
6.
I think 5.
6 max.
I think 6 is the max, too.
Because if you think about it, I had Boston and Cleveland in the Eastern Conference Finals going to 7 games. But I don't think anyone in this room thought Cleveland be undefeated in the playoffs as of right now.
No,
Did they?
I would have thought, they would have got taken to a couple games.
I thought Cleveland would have won lost at least one or maybe 2 games, but no, LeBron James is just on another level right now, and I think it's
I honestly
matchup.
completely forgot that there was more matchups in this in the second round. I was only going to talk about the Rockets and Spurs and the Celtics and
I don't know who they play. Oh yeah,
and
Toronto.
the Celtics and Wizards. I completely forgot there was even a. Wow, you honestly just brought the realization to me that there
and the
was more
Warriors, they
matches.
swept the Jazz too.
Yeah, do we have to talk about that really? No, right?
They're
Warriors.
just completely
Jazz,
dominant.
I thought Jazz fought really well.
They had an amazing season.
But
I'm
I
going to
think,
put that out there now.
Honestly, Jazz are a candidate to not. I mean, they're a good team and they had a great season.
They're just going to build
But
from what they have.
they're a candidate to be, worse next year because it's a
I
possibility.
doubt it.
It's a possibility that Gordon Hayward leaves.
He's not turning away that money.
If he goes to Boston.
I
If
don't
he's
think he's
the
gonna go
player
there.
instead of Jimmy Butler, why would he not? He he was with Brad Stevens.
If
at
they
Butler.
get Gordon Hayward, they're still not going to beat LeBron.
They're not. They'll be closer.
Yeah, but
Gordon Hayward's a complete player.
who would you rather have on your team, Paul George or Jimmy Butler or Gordon Hayward?
Gordon Hayward's younger.
Honestly,
I wouldn't
I'm not trying to get
He's
crazy here.
He's a team
but
player.
Gordon Hayward, you're saving more money. Is Gordon Hayward not a free agent?
Yeah.
He is a free agent.
Okay. You got a guy that you could sign and basically do it at your own will and not give up anything.
Yeah.
And what if they sign Gordon Hayward? They got a shit ton of money come this summer. Sign Gordon Hayward and then trade for, or you know what I mean, or keep the pick even, and then sign another player on top of that because they don't have to take in that crazy salary.
They really could, and they'd be better off.
But
they
risk the fact of signing Isaiah Thomas back.
Yes, but at this point,
how is that risking the fact of?
Well, you just said if they get Gordon Hayward and then they keep the pick and then they sign another player, where's all that money going to go for Isaiah?
You think he won't, sign back
Because
for that?
Isaiah
if they
Thomas,
win a title,
Isaiah,
if they win a title, I don't think he's leaving no matter what.
Isaiah Thomas deserves a $200 million contract.
I don't think so. He's almost 30 years old.
No, he's not. He's young. Isaiah Thomas isn't.
he's not.
Check his age.
He's going to be
He's
30
been
years
playing in the
old.
league for a little bit. I would,
He also graduated. Like, he graduated from
28.
college.
Yeah.
He's 28.
he just turned 28.
Well, he's going to be 30 years old in 2 years. So,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. He probably will get it. He'll get a big contract.
Yeah.
But, like,
If you think about it, he needs top league, top tier point guard in the league. John Wall's going to get a $200 million.
it's no
contract.
secret that the Boston Celtics have always wanted Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, I would honestly, I wouldn't mind the Gordon Hayward move and then keep the pick. And who do you? All right, in that case, you're gonna sign another guy, whatever. You could fill in that small forward role. I mean, obviously Jay Crowder fills that in, but I'm not the biggest fan of Jay Crowder.
But he played horrible yesterday.
But yeah, he's a good role player.
He is a good role player. Yeah.
But a lot of people would say that they don't want Isaiah Thomas with another star. That was Jesus.
Why?
That was Jesus' whole
Because
thing.
Isaiah Thomas takes over.
Yeah.
This is Isaiah Thomas.
So if you have Paul George and Isaiah Thomas, that might clash. Where Gordon Hayward, I mean,
he's a team player. He's a
But
complete player.
What's the
he's
goal?
just a guy who could hit 20 points a game and is satisfied with that. You know what I mean?
What's the
Better
goal?
than Horford.
What's the goal for every NBA team every season?
To get better.
To win the championship. You don't think Boston wants to beat Cleveland next year?
Yeah, but
do.
you might have a better chance getting Gordon Hayward's smaller contract than Paul George, because that's going to save you money right there, and then getting another, trade that one pick and maybe a key assets in between for a center.
It's also all about chemistry.
And then just like that, your lineup, instead of having, just Isaiah Thomas, Avery Bradley, Paul George, Al Horford, you can have those same players, but instead of Paul George, Gordon Hayward, and then an elite center. And then you got your whole team equaled out, rather than have Amir Johnson, who is a good player, but he'll be fine coming off the bench as well. Kelly Olynyk is fine coming off the bench as well. You know what I mean? You could shape that team off almost a little better if you had Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, but they're still not going to beat LeBron. I believe if they get a Jimmy Butler or Paul George, they could beat LeBron. Even without the less bench players they have now.
I think they could beat LeBron now.
I don't think so.
I'm calling Celtics in 7 games.
Oh my God!
What?
I'm gonna be that person.
That's a prediction. You
I'm
know
gonna
what?
be that person.
If that happens,
Put your money
then
on it. Fuck
that's
You know what?
insane.
I'm gonna be that person. I want Isaiah Thomas to finish his story. I want him to get. I want them to go all the way. And I'm a Lakers fan. This is coming from a Lakers fan. I want Isaiah Thomas to have that beautiful story of fighting and competing for his sister that passed a month ago, maybe. I don't know what it was exactly, but
Just about a month.
right before his first playoff game, and I want him to have a historic ending to a beautiful story and
If
a
they
heartwarming,
beat
heartfelt story.
Cleveland, they're getting swept by Golden State.
I don't think you can say that. I don't think that you can say that. If they get, I'm sorry, but if you beat Cleveland, you beat LeBron James, you have to put faith in that team that they could win that championship.
but they're getting completely swept.
That's
by Golden
you
State.
cannot say that.
I have Golden State beating Cleveland in less than 6 games.
I got Golden State kind of killing Cleveland as well.
I think so.
Yeah.
Not killing, but because you're not going to kill
I would
any
say
team
it's
that
a
has
7-game
LeBron as a heart.
series.
I hope.
A 7-game
but
series,
I don't
really?
think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
In reality, look how
They're
much better
still
they are
dominant.
now. Yeah, but
They're still
they have
dominant.
KD
The
now.
Warriors or
Cavs, they're still dominant. Like LeBron James is still LeBron James. He's not gonna let it go to a fucking 6-game series.
It depends. It depends what
This
Kevin
is
Durant
LeBron
does.
James you're talking about.
If Kevin Durant steps up in the finals, then it's a different ballgame.
I'm sorry. Everybody clowns on LeBron all the fucking time, but
I still do.
LeBron James is LeBron James. He's the best player in the league. He's better than Stephen Curry. Still at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to let this happen. He's not going to let that happen. And they have a great squad around them. He
has fucking everything.
He does it. I'm going to say, like, Warriors have the best squad in the NBA. No doubt. But we've seen them falter.
I do think if winning wasn't a matter of history and legacy, I think LeBron would be the greatest of all time. If it wasn't for, the championships and the fact that he has fell short a few times, LeBron James can literally at this point in his career, now that it's really just closing in and it's just greatness. When it should have been the moments where this should have been the moments where we're like, all right, LeBron's falling off, lit, like all East, the whole East Conference is up for grabs, but it hasn't, and he keeps proving me wrong day after day, season after season, year after year. I think there's no reason why he couldn't be in the GOAT conversation.
If he beats this Golden State Warriors
he's in the conversation.
It's a huge debate. And I'm still not giving it to Michael Jordan. The day he passes Michael Jordan in rings, that's the conversation we'll have.
That's the day it's confirmed.
Yeah.
That he's the greatest of all time.
But in my opinion, LeBron is by far the best all-around basketball player to ever play in the NBA. Better than Jordan. He's bigger, stronger, faster. Gets more rebounds, assists, more of a team player.
Michael Jordan's just the most dominant player.
But is he a better defender than Michael Jordan?
I don't think so. No,
I don't think he's a better defender than Michael Jordan.
Jordan won a Defensive Player of the Year, but
even
LeBron's a bigger body.
LeBron James' defense now isn't the best. I don't like when people gas up LeBron James' defense.
He plays defense when he wants to.
Yeah, exactly.
He plays great defense when he wants
to.
Michael Jordan was a great defender.
Even when he was 40 years old, he was.
I'll give it to Jordan. He won a Defensive Player of the Year as well to back that up. But I think LeBron is by far the best all-around player in the NBA of all time. Well, and that's saying a lot.
The debate is definitely there. I'm not going to lie to you, but let's talk about the series that already started, and we got the Spurs and Warriors.
This is a series that's probably already going to be over.
Yeah. Well, it's another game today. We probably won't get this podcast up today. We'll probably get it up tomorrow. But before we talk about that, Warriors and I'm sorry, not Warriors, Spurs and Rockets. James Harden went MIA. The Spurs ended up winning in 6 in Houston.
Tough series.
That's just unbelievable.
I saw
blew them out in Houston.
Blew them out
without Kawhi Leonard in Game 6. It kind of like
Patty Mills is guy.
Everybody's MVP.
It kind of pisses me off when people say, "Oh, James Harden doesn't deserve MVP." Blah blah blah. He had a few bad games.
Well, you're talking about because of his performance that just happened.
Yeah, like he had arguably a better season than Westbrook, and just because you lose to a great title contender team in the Spurs doesn't mean you don't deserve MVP. Look what Russell Westbrook did against James Harden. He completely disappeared in the fourth quarter. He was like 1 for 14 shooting in like the last 2 or 3 games of the.
I think it was 3 for 14.
Open round against Houston. Like, come on now. Like, just because James Harden's getting all this heat for not playing against a good San Antonio team when you're guarded by Kawhi Leonard, the best defender in the league by far.
Was he playing Game 6?
Yeah.
Who, Kawhi?
Oh no. I mean the rest of the series.
Still, but like, okay, if you're not guarded by Kawhi Leonard. Game 6, and that's the game that you have to force it.
Okay, but West
kind of like
Harden didn't even want to shoot the ball.
Westbrook took it to 7 games.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. Well, I'm sorry,
5.
It wasn't even competitive.
It wasn't competitive, and Westbrook didn't show up in the last quarters.
No. I don't understand why you're getting all this heat from Harden when Westbrook did.
If you want to use that argument for James Harden, the same argument could be made for Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think any of us are using that argument, but we have seen that argument be brought up before, and I think it's an unreasonable, irrational argument that you can't do.
Both of them were extremely disappointing in the playoff.
It happens, though. When you play the best teams in the NBA, when they go to the playoffs, it gets harder.
And that leaves...
Look what happened with John Wall and Isaiah. Like, it kind of broke my heart when John Wall lost to Boston last night, because John Wall's a better player than Isaiah, I think.
He deserved to lose. He was extremely cocky, and...
Why not, though? He's good.
Because he lost. He lost anyways. And
sucks.
he lost by 10 points, and you completely...
And he didn't do shit.
And then he completely disappeared the last game. He talked so much shit, and look what happened. You don't feel bad for him, because
they need to get...
He's going to go home.
I'm not feeling bad for anybody making millions.
He's going home, throwing up gang signs, and...
Don't ever talk shit about gang sign John Wall, alright? Gang sign John Wall...
He didn't use his gang sign jutsu last night, and fucking,
Gang sign John Wall could be the highest of highest Super Saiyans.
Even Kelly Olynyk?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's hard.
That is hard. You don't
gang
even...
sign
that's
Olynyk
hard.
is very tough.
Kelly Olynyk is Dirk Jr.
But I don't know. It's just hard.
He's Dirk Sr.
You're right. I'm sorry. I can't believe I disrespected him like that.
It just breaks my heart when, like, all these good players... I mean, I know there has to be one champion.
Bro, that's
but,
the playoffs.
Like, one year I want something different. I want Wall to be a champ. I want Isaiah to be a champ.
In a perfect world, that would happen, and it could happen. But in NBA, that doesn't happen. It's either Stephen Curry, LeBron James, or
it's getting
Spurs.
tiring.
It is getting tiring, but at the end of the day, we're still talking about it.
Yeah, because there's nothing else to talk about with that.
The NBA,
it just has to be what it is.
NBA is the most predictable sport in sports.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, it needs to end. Like, somebody needs to step up, take out LeBron James. Somebody needs to step up.
Somebody, just like David Stern vetoed the trade. You should be able to veto free agent signings.
Yeah, honestly.
Somebody needs to, step
LeBron
up
just retire
and take down the Warriors in the West.
Like, if LeBron retired right now, you know how much better the Eastern Conference would be?
Yeah, that's the Eastern Conference, but as far as the Warriors go.
But then the Warriors would take the chip. Easily.
In a few years, man, NBA is going to be so competitive and so ridiculous. But as far as now,
older, Curry.
In a few years,
well, we say that until Anthony Davis joins Giannis Antetokounmpo and Giannis joins Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins with fucking Russell Westbrook in the backcourt along with D'Angelo Russell, and it's just gonna be the same shit. It's gonna be a repeated cycle, just like I almost said Post Malone, Karl Malone. I mixed the Post
Karl
man.
Malone went to the Lakers.
Yeah, just like Karl Malone and Gary Payton went to the Lakers back then.
That team was horrible.
Shut the hell up. They were. It's just going to be a repeated cycle. Yeah. You're going to join forces and
it sucks because all these young teams are building up great cores. You see the Bucks. The Bucks with Giannis.
They excite me.
My goodness, they're.
Imagine you had like a contract where you, like NBA, once you draft to a team, you can't leave.
That'd be great.
That'd be.
Kobe.
I mean, Nets would be fucked forever, but.
Sixers. Oh my god.
Just hope and pray for draft picks.
Sixers are getting better. Heat are getting better.
Lakers getting better.
Lakers are getting way better. The
Bucks are getting better. Timberwolves, I don't know what they're doing. Timberwolves, they should have been better this year.
They should. You're right.
Zach LaVine
got hurt, and they were already doing bad.
But Andrew Wiggins, quote unquote, next to LeBron. Where's he at, man?
Let's not lose focus because we have the draft lottery that we're gonna cut. We're gonna have to pause this in 7 minutes. So let's talk about what we think is gonna happen for Warriors and Spurs. First game happened. Warriors came back 25 points.
Yeah.
Soon as Kawhi Leonard went down.
Yeah.
Number one question first.
Zaza's not dirty.
That was my question. Was that a dirty move from Zaza?
No.
I'll say no.
It happens.
I don't think it was a dirty move.
It happens, but he has a history, and they need to watch him.
I understand the history aspect of it,
especially against the Spurs, though.
I couldn't do that if I tried. Like I don't understand. My man really was just
contending a shot and just landed on his ankle. That's
but he also
the most dirtiest move, and
Pop gassed it. But he also did hold Kawhi's arm the last time last year when he played for the Mavs, and he almost ripped it out of his socket.
Like Kelly Olynyk.
Kelly Olynyk to Kevin Love. But
are we disrespecting Kelly Olynyk once again?
Kelly Olynyk just made a dirty move.
That's the only dirty move.
But he's still the greatest of all time.
Okay. Then what is the question?
Zaza might be a little dirty, and they need to watch him.
Well, of course, Zaza's more dirty than
Zaza is a dirty player. So, they kind of,
Who knows? All I know is, Spurs, they just completely blew the game. They were up 25 points.
Even if you don't have Kawhi Leonard, there's no reason for that.
Yeah.
You're a team that beat Rockets without Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Like
That's true.
I don't care if they have
Tell Patty
Curry,
Mills
KD.
to get on
Tell
his gang sign.
Tell Patty
Draymond.
Mills to start cashing some threes, baby.
You got to get on the gang sign. Super Saiyan level.
Yeah.
but
Like John Wall.
Game 2's tonight. No offense, Kawhi's not playing again
Neither is
tonight.
Iggy.
Neither is Iggy. I just think Warriors.
Kawhi's a bigger issue.
I think
Debatable.
Warriors are going to win this in 6 games. Wait, what?
No, continue talking. I'm just
My prediction: Warriors in 6, no more than that. Because Kawhi could come back. They don't have Tony Parker.
I'm giving him
well.
7. I'm gonna give it 7.
He's pushing it.
I'm going to make a bold prediction like Christian. I'm gonna say the Spurs win it. I'm saying Kawhi comes back, they win the series,
It's not happening.
and they knock off the Warriors. I think that would be amazing.
If it's Spurs and Celtics in the finals,
That's the dream. The dream finals.
That's crazy because I'm doing a bold prediction for this one too.
I'll kill myself.
I predict.
I got the Warriors in 5.
Damn.
That's my bold prediction.
Damn.
If
They got,
Kawhi's
they
hurt,
just
they got no
if they
chance.
take one at San Antonio, then they win.
I'm taking the Spurs.
They're winning tonight.
I'm saying the Spurs are winning tonight. I say they bounce back without Kawhi. I'm saying they do it because
They
they
did it
are
with
they are a
Houston, but
team.
Warriors are different.
They are a team that knows how to bounce back without their best player. I think they do it.
But they're playing Golden State.
We'll see. I know they're playing Golden State, like obviously, but we'll see. Hey, maybe I'm wrong. Fuck it.
Who knows?
I can't wait for Curry to redeem himself in the finals against
Yes.
Cavaliers.
He had 40 the other day.
I want
Yeah,
him
it was so
to.
fun
I want him to
watching
hang
him
it on
I want him
LeBron.
to light up LeBron's whole face.
I want LeBron to
I have
tear
some
his
bias just
ACL.
because I just don't. I I respect LeBron as a player, but I
I
just don't
just
want to
call-
see
I-
him winning more championships.
Yeah, it's same. I just
Honestly.
called him arguably the GOAT, but I'm just tired of LeBron just going to the finals every year.
Same.
And you guys can say all you want. It's LeBron. It's LeBron. It's his conference. It's his conference. If he was in the West, this wouldn't be happening. But we talk about this every other
If
week.
he wouldn't have the roster he has, he wouldn't make the playoffs.
Okay, well that
Like,
guess yeah.
Well, yeah, but you can say that about any other team. You can say that about
Yeah.
the Warriors.
You said about a Curry too.
I mean, granted, he did it without the roster. When he just had Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, who were...
yeah. Team that drafted him.
Yeah, like that's as fair as it gets. That's being with the core team you were drafted with.
Yeah.
No
Same
one-
thing with OKC.
True.
But
Like, they drafted Kyrie, but they got Kevin Love in a trade. They signed Tristan Thompson and all these guys, you know what I mean? So, even
Well-
though they did draft them, but...
it's about to be the point of the day where we have to pause this and we're going to talk about the draft lottery. And once that ends, the game will occur. I do want to talk about our
little
initial
bit more.
reaction to the draft lottery
A little
right
bit
after.
more playoff stuff.
And I'm pretty sure it's only going to be 30 minutes. So,
Probably less than that.
but
No,
what I also
it's
want
a
to do,
TV
so
thing.
I could give them something to look forward to after as well, is I want to do something where we, real quick, very very quick, we just go through down every NBA team, and we declare if their season, now that we've seen basically the whole year done,
Success or
was
failure.
it success or failure?
I like that.
Okay.
And let's hope and pray the Knicks get the first overall pick. Okay,
Let's not
we
do
could pause
that.
it
No.
now. Yeah.
Let's not. Fuck the
I mean,
Knicks.
before we even pause it, what are we looking forward to? Like, what are we expecting?
Joel Embiid, my man,
What
for
the
what?
hell are you
Him
expecting him?
just repping the Sixers. He's a fucking character.
He's there?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
repping for them.
Who's repping Lakers? Magic, right?
Magic.
We got Walt Frazier.
He's gonna give everybody.
All right, so best case scenario, what are you expecting for? You're just expecting the regular order. Boston Celtics at the first
No,
pick.
something's gonna flip.
You think?
I really think the Lakers are in the Sixers pick's gonna flip.
I think.
Bro,
I think that
you're literally. I would honestly come on here crying.
I believe that the Lakers are losing that pick. I think they're losing.
You
that
guys,
pick.
what if they get the first pick?
I'll be hyped.
Either way, I feel like we're getting
I'll be happy for
Lonzo.
you. Yeah.
It depends.
You know what wouldn't surprise me? Phoenix sliding into 1.
That'd be crazy.
That'd
And
be
then
wild.
Boston gets 2. And then Sixers, Lakers 3,
If the
4.
Sixers,
Yo, what would you do if Boston gets like the 10th pick?
that'd be crazy.
They'd oh my god, I'd feel so bad for them.
That'd be some shit.
But Boston's luck, they would have traded that pick, and then it would have been the 10th pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I just hope, because it's right now, I think we have odds of getting the 5th or 6th pick. If we get the 5th pick, I'd be kind of happy. Because who knows if the Magic, who they draft, and who knows if Minnesota drafts.
I'm praying for the Sixers
Fox.
at the 4th spot to win the lottery. And then whatever. 'Cause
Well, I'm just praying for the Lakers to fucking be in top 3.
yeah,
If the
that's
La-
basically what you got right.
I'm
for
just
fourth.
praying the Knicks get a player I want.
Well, I mean, they drafted
But we
Porzingis
have-
and you hated Porzingis.
We have Phil Jackson, so that'll probably not be the player I want. So.
Yeah, because Phil Jackson is a fucking hack.
Yeah.
All right, well,
All right, we'll
we'll
pause
see what happens. We're going to pause it right now, and we'll get back to you when the draft lottery is over. Hopefully, we got some good news. Hopefully, we got some bad news, because bad news always gets the best out of people. So, we'll be back. Well, it happened. The lottery happened. It almost felt like a draft as a whole.
For real.
You're glued to our seats. But, I mean, for the most part, it went according to plan. So,
Phoenix got screwed. Just to
NBA
say that
fucked
out there.
Phoenix.
yeah, Phoenix did get screwed just a little bit. Can you say the order first from top to bottom, Jeff?
yeah.
I mean, when we don't got to cover the 14th. And, you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
went according to plan.
Yeah. I'll go the top 10. I'll go 10 down. Sacramento, Dallas, New York Knicks, Minnesota, Orlando, Sacramento, Phoenix.
Stop right there. All right, so Kings got 2 picks. And according to what they said, at least how we interpreted it, that's because 76ers originally had that 5th pick.
Yes.
Meaning that the Kings, if this would never happen, would have had the third pick.
They would have lucked out.
But this is what I'm saying. The Kings are in a good position. They got the 5th and the 10th pick. Now, how do you feel about the Knicks having that 8th pick? Expected, what, 6 or 7?
I saw 6. I saw 7. Whatever. I just hope we get Darren Fox or Dennis Smith because I don't think we're going to get Josh Jackson or...
No, definitely not.
I was praying we get closer, maybe get Lonzo, but he's going to get drafted.
You were praying to move up, and you just did like the complete opposite and move down.
Yeah, just
Move
one,
down,
though.
yeah.
Whatever. If we get Dennis Smith or Darren Fox, I'll be pretty
You
happy.
need Josh Jackson on that team, but
Yeah,
that'd be
because
a
Melo's
stretch.
leaving.
Now the Suns number 4.
It's a damn shame.
That's tough. I mean, but do they really need another guard?
No.
No.
Booker,
but
Bledsoe,
I think
Brandon Knight.
They still have a chance to get Josh Jackson, but I think that's very low.
I think they
I
need
think
a
who
3.
else would take Josh Jackson? 76ers. taking Josh Jackson?
76ers.
Really?
Yeah, they don't have a wing.
It's Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons is a guard. Ben Simmons is
Ben
point
Simmons
guard.
gonna play small forward,
He's
bro.
playing point guard.
No, he's not.
They want him to play point guard.
If
he
you
might
get-
run the point, but he's not gonna be your point guard.
If you get Lonzo Ball or Fultz, Ben Simmons is not running point.
They had him up on the ESPN graphic.
Yeah, but
they
they don't-
had him as guard.
Yeah, but as of right now, that's their guard. If they get Fultz or Ball, he's
they
sliding
get
into 3.
Yeah,
Why would you have Ben Simmons at 1
depends. It's
and
whatever-
then Fultz or Ball at 2?
it's whatever. But
That'd be stupid.
the Celtics would be drafting, or the Celtics would either be drafting Fultz at 1, or they would be trading that pick to somebody, and somebody else would be drafting Fultz at 1. So like,
I'm just happy my pick is secure. Lakers pick is secured at number 2. And, I mean, at this point, it's either Lonzo or Markelle Fultz. And if we even want to go for a stretch and do Josh Jackson, we could really do whatever we want, alternatively. If we get Ball, I don't really care. As long as we got the pick, and that's what mattered at the end of the day. I do want Ball, but if we don't get him, I'm not going to trip shit about him because his father is a complete cockhead. So either way, I'm satisfied. So... That's my real take on the whole lottery. It turned out to be... I mean, the Wolves do have the 7th pick, which I do find intriguing. Because I don't know who else they really need. They don't need a small forward. They got Wiggins. Do you want to get another point guard?
I think they're going to get another guard.
Levine is it should be their solidified shooting guard. Do you want to grab a power forward center, whatever, counters Karl Anthony Towns?
I think that's what they go for. I mean, I know they seem like they're content with Jang, but I don't think he's that great. So
I think he could play.
You just think that because it's 2K.
For 2, yeah, exactly.
he can play, but like, they obviously did not do so hot, so something's got to change.
I think they need to get a guard and trade Rubio. Let Dunn shine and let their new guard shine.
So
Because Rubio has a big contract.
I don't know if Dunn could play out to be what they expected. Any more comments on the lottery?
I hate both of your teams. You guys are going to get good players either way. If you get Ball or Fultz or Josh Jackson, which could be any of those names, are going to go to Philly or LA. So I just want to say screw you guys because you guys are going to get a good player.
I sound like a depressed Knicks fan
Yeah.
for like the 20th year in a row. Any last comments, Will?
I'm happy with where the Sixers
So now-
landed.
Final question: are Celtics trading the pick, or what would you do? Would you keep it or trade it?
I'd trade it.
I would trade it.
I would trade it.
I think definitely you go for that Jimmy Butler or you go for that Paul George. But if you really do believe, I mean, they have until June to do that. But if you really believe that Markelle Fultz is that guy, then do it. Pull the trigger. Do what you got to do. If I were running the Celtics,
I think he could work in the Celtics system perfectly. It's just
too.
you have Isaiah Thomas.
yeah.
I want to look up how tall Markelle Fultz is. Does any of you know off the top of your head?
He's 6'4".
They're not
6'4" on
They
the
do
dot.
play. They do play a lot of guards at the same time. They do run a lot of small ball.
If they get Fultz, they need to get rid of Marcus Smart.
I think that's a definite.
They need to keep Bradley.
I don't know how good Fultz is on defensively.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to wait till my friend comes up and we can interrogate him with a bunch of questions and hope he got the answers to it.
I feel like the answer to the Celtics' problems is a wing.
Yeah.
So I feel like
And
they
Josh
need
Jackson
to trade
isn't
it.
worth getting.
Josh
at that
Jackson,
pick.
if you can't draft Josh Jackson over Markelle Fultz. I feel like that's
Or
You gotta pick for the best and then trade that.
Yeah. It's got to be best player available, and you got to do what you got to do.
They're in. You know what? You know what they have right now? First world problems.
Yeah, exactly. They have first
And
world
they're
problems.
in
They have
the
an
Eastern
they have an
Conference
embarrassment
Finals.
of riches.
Yeah,
At the moment.
that's really what it is. It's first world problems. Oh man, what are we gonna do with this first pick? Should we keep it or should we trade for All Star? Like it's.
I got a Ferrari and a Lambo.
Which one should I drive today?
Yeah.
For some reason, I think they're going to keep it.
I feel like that too. They've just
feel
been
like
so
they're-
hesitant on trading recently.
But then that's going to be their downfall.
This is the summer to do it, though.
This is the summer for them to go after that player. So
I mean, we will see. All right, so now let's get into what teams we think and we deem as a success or as a failure.
Run them through.
So I just got to pull up the teams.
we're going to bottom or top.
What happened?
We're going bottom to top,
What you mean, like worst
like
teams?
standings, worst to
No,
best.
because I feel like then it'll
We can mix it
we'll
up.
say a whole bunch of bad teams in a row. You know what I mean? If we're
Yeah, mix it
doing
up.
it by then.
So-
But let me just get.
I have the standings up.
I don't want to do standings per se because I feel like that's.
You want to do it by
I want to get the every team in the NBA.
do division.
Okay, yeah.
Or you could do
Do it by
alphabetically.
division.
We could do it by division. All right. Let me get this shit loaded. Okay. So okay. So we got. Let's start off with the Atlantic Eastern Division.
Okay.
Toronto.
Failure.
Failure, absolutely failure. They definitely did not live up to their. They didn't even live up to how good they were last year. They are just awful.
Didn't go to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're probably going to lose Kyle Lowry. They signed DeMar DeRozan to a big contract. They acquired Serge Ibaka and PJ Tucker in the trade deadline, and they did not beat the Cavaliers in one game.
That's all that they wanted to.
I want to consider them a failure, but they did get Ibaka. They did get PJ Tucker.
Yeah, but they got them for
Ibaka's
the
probably
sole
gonna leave.
purpose. They got them for the sole purpose of winning now.
Yeah.
To beat
Beat Cleveland now. I would,
Yeah.
in my opinion, they're absolutely a failure.
Yeah,
Still a good
I
team
would-
in the East,
I would
though,
consider them
so.
failures as well.
They'll be contenders.
Philadelphia.
Success.
Absolute success. They saw the direction that the process was going in. I'm a little biased because I love the Sixers, but
It's okay.
It has to be a success because we didn't know what Joel Embiid would be. A lot of people considered it a joke.
Joel
The whole
Embiid,
him on Twitter, but he proved he's no joke, and it's a success.
Dario Saric, kid is a monster.
Yeah,
He's a monster. T.J. McConnell proved to be a gem. Robert Covington really showed his potential.
He's getting better.
He's getting a lot better.
Ben Simmons not even playing a game.
Yeah.
And the fact that they almost won 30 games.
Yeah.
And Embiid played in 31. Like, imagine if Embiid played in more games. They probably would have maybe eclipsed 40.
Yeah.
I had no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Boston success. I don't think
Absolute success.
Success.
Yeah, we don't got
Conference
to-
finals.
Good
First
lottery
seed.
pick.
Lot.
Isaiah Thomas.
everything's working out their way for them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They literally got the luck of the Celtics. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah. The luck of the Irish, man.
Yeah.
And Kelly Olynyk. That's what I gotta say.
Knicks.
Complete failure.
Absolute failure.
We're losing Melo. We have a top 7 pick in the draft. Phil Jackson got signed to another 2-year contract. I want him gone.
Derrick Rose in the quote-unquote super team
Yeah, towards something in his knee again, and we better not pay him.
Derrick Rose was a success this year.
We better not pay him $150 million though.
Was-
And Joakim Noah.
He wasn't a success this year?
No, he was a good player.
He wasn't bad.
He was averaging 18 points a game.
He's pretty
He had
decent,
a
but
good
like
season.
they tore his meniscus.
And
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's
and
he's a
Joakim
fucking joke.
Noah. Just leave the NBA. You got popped for steroids. Goodbye.
Yeah. Brooklyn.
Complete failure.
Absolutely.
Not their fault though.
Who do they have?
Jeremy Lin.
I think they're very successful at being shit.
Yeah,
So take that.
they gave Boston
You know,
best odds for the first overall pick.
if they had the pick, then I would consider them a success this year. But they didn't. So
I guess
That's
yeah.
their dumbass fault for getting Garnett and Pierce when they wouldn't have beat the big three in Miami.
They got 80-year-old Garnett and Pierce,
And they're not going to
ruined
get
their
any
future.
free agents, so that's their fault.
No,
Pistons.
Complete failure.
I'd say failure too.
Yeah, they should have been a lot better than what they were.
Yeah.
Andre Drummond, I feel like his momentum's down, his name value is down.
Yeah.
Reggie Jackson.
his
Reggie
stock
Jackson is down.
Tobias.
Yep, Tobias.
That whole
Tobias
team-
is like all right, but
Steph Van Gundy, just not
Steve
the
Van
coach that I
Gundy,
believe
yeah.
that should build that team, in my opinion.
he's their president, so like
Yeah.
he's not going anywhere anytime soon. Unfortunately for them.
Failure. Chicago.
You know,
I would consider them a success.
I would say success because people, even like right when they signed Rondo and when they got D Wade, they're like, okay, nobody can shoot. They're not going anywhere in the playoffs. They challenged Boston those first
And
two.
arguably, if Rondo stayed healthy, they would have beat Boston.
Arguably, yeah.
They understood what they were doing. It just happened to be at the very end of the season.
Yep.
So I feel like next year is going to be a brand new year. If they keep Wade, if they don't,
Wade's interested in Miami.
if Butler leaves, I don't know. But this year, I do think was a success. Believe it or not.
I think it was a success.
The end of the season was a success, but
Good 8th seed.
Overall, complete failure because my prediction was they'd get to the second round at least. And they didn't beat Boston. Had a tough time this season with Rondo taking shots at his teammates. Same thing with Wade and Butler since they're the veterans. And the coach, in my opinion, I don't think he should be coaching for Chicago anymore.
Hoiberg.
Even though he's a good young coach. But I think a complete failure on the season for Chicago.
Milwaukee.
Success. I hope future NBA champions of the league one day.
I want to say
Honestly.
success, but it really was just Giannis carrying this whole team.
Yeah. Because Jabari Parker, torn ACL, Chris Middleton.
It was a
Yeah.
success in the
Injured.
fact that we know Giannis is going to be a future fucking all.
he's absolutely the next.
All-Star, MVP, everything.
I think he's going to be better than Davis.
Yeah,
So,
so do I.
I think he's
I
the
think
top.
he's the real deal.
You might be pushing it there.
Nope, I think he's going to replace LeBron.
Yeah, has Davis carried his team to a playoff yet?
No,
Davis
'cause he has
hasn't
nothing
done shit.
around him.
And
But Bucks
Giannis
do.
does?
Yes. Jabari Parker, Chris Middleton. Name two other players except Boogie and
Both
AD
of those
on that
players were rotating, being hurt.
team. Yeah. What? At least players are playing on New Orleans, and they're not hurt.
You got
but
Boogie.
you have
Tyreek
no
Evans,
talent.
Drew
You traded-
Holiday,
You traded for Boogie.
Tyreek was
Tim
hurt.
the Goat Frazier.
You can't forget about him.
You cannot
But
forget about Tim
Giannis
Frazier.
has more on
Penn
his
State.
team.
You got to give him Kelly Olynyk, and that's the team.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana.
Failure.
Complete failure.
They were predicted
Yeah.
second
Abysmal.
seed on my
Abysmal.
predictions for this
Awful.
season.
Yeah.
They had Miles Turner, Al Jefferson, Thaddeus Young,
Al Jefferson's a
Monte
shell.
Ellis, Paul George, and who's their point guard? Jeff Teague.
Jeff
Like,
Teague, yeah.
and
Ooh, they're a failure.
and you're-
Absolute failure.
8th seed, bro. Come on now, 7th seed. I'm sorry.
They built.
Larry Bird just left. No wonder. Paul George is going to probably the Lakers or somewhere
Cleveland.
else. It depends what they do in the finals.
It all depends on the finals, obviously. Actually, all depends on this series.
As of right now, not one of their best seasons, but I'll still give them a success because they're in the Eastern Conference Finals and they're probably going to go to the finals.
Yeah.
Most definitely. It
Success.
depends if they beat the Warriors.
Obviously, so far. Like, Boston.
I would say failure.
Why?
Why?
Because they're the Cleveland Cavaliers and they have Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, and the stacked roster on them,
And they need more players for LeBron.
and they
right?
still need more players.
I agree. That's the only downfall in the season.
Yeah.
And they didn't win as many games.
If we would
as
have done,
expected.
all right, listen. If we would have done this as soon as the season ended, I would have said absolute failure.
Oh,
I
me
think-
too.
But the
I
fact
think-
that they've been doing so good now, but they haven't really faced any talent, I don't know.
I think
I would
that-
just say failure just to be the odd man out.
I think that, they need. I think, we need this series and possibly finals if they go to the finals, which they probably will.
They
I think
will.
that's when we need to determine whether or not they're success or not.
We'll revisit
Same
that
thing.
question.
Same thing with the Warriors as well.
Now, Atlanta Hawks.
Complete failure. Dennis Schroeder came up as a young point guard, coming from Jeff Teague leaving. Dwight Howard, not really. He had a good season, but not the Dwight Howard of old.
Low-key, he had a good season. He had the best season he's had in a while.
He wants to leave Atlanta. He hates his role there.
I don't know what other role he's looking for. I think they were a success. He's not.
Yeah,
they didn't go far in the playoffs, but
they didn't make the playoffs.
Yes,
they did. What am I talking about? I thought they didn't make the playoffs for some reason.
No, they're a team that were exactly where they were supposed to be almost.
Yeah,
they might have even should have been worse. So I think they're a success by all means.
I'd say they're a success.
The Wizards, success.
Complete success.
This was their year.
I'd say success.
Even though they did lose to Boston last night, and Wheel and Wall had their bounce back seasons after last year were complete just failure in my opinion. Wall and Beal just stepped it up. Hopefully they get a big man or someone else that could play with them down low and be a contenders to Boston and Cleveland and Toronto in the future.
Gortat is not enough.
Yeah,
Gortat is nowhere near enough.
I'd love if Boogie went there. Not going to happen though.
No.
Charlotte, I think that's a success. Just because they don't really have talent, and they at one point proved that they might be a threat.
Yeah. I'll say success.
Kemba's stepping up.
Yeah, Kemba's proving what he really is, and it's a star.
He is a star, absolutely. He's phenomenal.
And the first half of their season was relatively very well. They were like top 10 and like league, a top 10 team in the league, which surprised me because just Kemba and Nicholas Batum are the only people on that team. Mm-hmm. Frank Kaminsky, good up and comer, but who knows? Michael Jordan needs to build that team to a championship team. Hopefully he could do that though.
Orlando Magic.
Complete failure from the offseason. They have too many bigs. Yeah. They have Vucevic, they have Aaron Gordon, who played half the season hurt. They have Serge Ibaka, who they traded for. They got rid of Oladipo, and then they traded him again to Toronto. They have too many big men on that team. They need to figure that out. They have a good pick in the draft. They need to have a good summer. And who wouldn't want to play in Orlando?
I think this next one is not a question. Miami. Success.
Complete.
Not supposed to be this good.
That's success.
Yeah. Success from the fact that they didn't have Bosh, Wade left, and LeBron's not obviously there anymore.
LeBron ain't been there for like.
They were a 500 team with literally nobodies.
Waiters and Whiteside. That's their most powerhouse.
Supposed to turn Waiters into a star.
Yeah, that's true. Now Western Conference, we do have to speed this up. We only got a few more minutes left.
Make it quick.
Utah, success.
Absolute complete success.
I said it from the beginning. Utah, completely better team. Gordon Hayward, Alec Burks, Joe Johnson. They proved themselves that they could be relevant in the West.
ISO Joe, man. ISO Joe. He killed it.
Yeah, it got to be a success. OKC.
Complete failure. Westbrook had a complete success, but OKC as a team, they didn't build the team Westbrook wanted to. They don't have the shooters to contend in the Western Conference, and pretty much proved it. They didn't beat Houston, and Westbrook might leave in a few years if he doesn't get help.
I think they should be a landing spot for Melo.
Glad we're on the same page. Portland.
Complete failure. They have no defense. Yeah. They did get Nurkic. I'm sorry.
Joseph Nurkic.
And they do have Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, very young players, and who knows? They're one of the best backcourts in the league, but they had a complete failure.
I got to give them a failure. But the ending of the season, success. So, but overall, failure.
They made the playoffs somehow.
But they didn't even compete. So,
Minnesota,
complete failure. I thought they'd make the playoffs.
They needed to take that step forward, and Andrew Wiggins hasn't done anything.
Yeah, Zach LaVine hurt. Andrew Wiggins,
quote unquote, next LeBron. He ain't done shit.
He got potential. He could be the next Kobe. You never know. Andrew Wiggins, great potential. Karl Anthony Towns, great player. Tom Thibodeau didn't prove much.
There's no reason they're still in this potential phase.
Yeah.
They got too much potential to be in this potential.
They have all the players. Chris Dunn, where was he all season?
Yeah. I hope he
was not that good.
Good future. Zach LaVine, I hope he comes back 100% healthy and plays under Tom Thibodeau in a successful way.
Denver.
Success.
I'd say failure.
Jokic was phenomenal.
How is this a failure?
Because they should have made the playoffs.
The Western Conference, man.
You had Denver going into the playoffs before your season started?
I think so.
No, you did not.
No, you did not.
I didn't?
No.
Denver was awful. Gary Harris.
They still got Wilson Chandler.
True.
They're a success.
Gary Harris, come on, man. Cook.
Golden State.
Complete failure.
Failure.
Really?
Nah.
Yeah.
Success.
They're failure.
How?
You can't...
Going into this season, we thought they were going to be an unbeatable team.
That's true.
I guess.
They played better with KD gone.
But they got no bench too, though. We understood.
Okay.
That.
They have a decent.
Last year's team was better with Kevin Durant. I think everyone knew that was going to happen.
No, we all thought that this team would be improvement.
We thought this team would be the unbeatable
82-0.
82-0.
Yeah,
No,
I literally asked
say
before the
that.
season started who can beat this team, like in general.
Many teams,
And they
beat
lost
this
their first game.
Yeah, against the
team.
Spurs.
Spurs.
Okay.
I knew they weren't.
He had Spurs beating Golden State Warriors in this playoffs.
I knew they weren't going to be
That might just
82-0.
be me
I knew they
being
weren't going to win
wrong.
73 or more games. Hell no. With all the players they lost, no.
I think this was
Like
I
Cleveland,
think-
it depends in the finals. If they beat Cleveland,
Yeah,
success.
exactly.
If they don't, failure.
It
Because
depends.
KD might leave.
Depends on if they get to the finals, which they are. I think they will. Well,
course.
I mean, I
Why is
predicted
not
they
playing?
wouldn't,
Yeah, true, you did.
but I think it's a high probability they will. But if they don't win the finals,
Complete
it's
failure.
failure.
Because KD will
Absolute
leave.
Clippers.
Complete
Failure.
Failure.
They need to unload everybody. Get rid of JJ Redick. Get rid of Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, the owner, DeAndre Jordan can't even make.
You want to hear a
fucking
funny
free throw.
stat? How many conference finals appearances does Doc Rivers have in the last 5 years since he's left from the Celtics?
None.
0. How many does Brad Stevens have as Celtics head coach? 1.
And the funny thing is, Doc Rivers didn't want to stay to rebuild that.
Didn't
team.
want to stay to
He's
rebuild
a
it.
fucking idiot.
Dumbest motherfucker alive.
I don't think he's an overrated coach though. He's still. A great
I think
coach.
he is overrated.
I think he's extremely overrated. He got lucky that they got Kevin Garnett, they got Ray Allen, they got Paul Pierce.
He wanted to play for Doc Rivers.
He got lucky.
Phoenix.
Complete success.
I wouldn't say complete success, but I would say success because this season proved that Devin Booker
could
is
be the
much
destroyer.
more than just a scorer.
Yep.
He could be a Kobe.
Yeah.
Devin Booker
Honestly.
is phenomenal.
And that's a big
Statement.
word. But
Alex Len actually played a little bit too.
yeah,
He got
their
got
fourth
some
overall
skills.
pick. What was his name?
Dragon Bender.
He was a
Nothing.
disappointment.
Yeah.
But he's more of a potential type player like
Yeah.
Porzingis.
Yeah.
But they did catch a lot of L's, but they still do have Eric Bledsoe, who I think is a very good player.
Yeah.
They have a possibility of getting the first overall pick tonight. Who knows? Maybe Lonzo Ball will go there, Marcus Fultz, whoever. Well, let's see. Phoenix could be a real contender in the NBA in the future, and they do have a lot of picks in the future as well.
Sacramento.
Complete failure.
Absolute complete failure.
Why would you trade DeMarcus Cousins?
Well,
Success.
I think.
yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
I
Why?
think
Because, bro, DeMarcus Cousins was going to leave.
he was gonna leave.
You just
No,
got Buddy
he
Hield and
wasn't.
some other players.
Bro,
He,
failure.
wasn't going to leave.
Did you see the interviews?
He was
How
gonna-
upset he was when
he was
he
gonna leave.
got traded from Sacramento.
This team was doomed with DeMarcus Cousins. This team was doomed without DeMarcus
Yeah, but
Cousins.
DeMarcus Cousins was willing to
All they
rebuild
got
and
back was
stay.
Buddy
with the
Okay,
team.
listen, but they've been rebuilding for how many years?
That's not DeMarcus Cousins' fault.
All right, but either way, clearly that's a wrong direction to go.
Yeah,
this is a much better direction.
They also
you got to
got-
start brand new, and that includes not having DeMarcus Cousins, who has been a cancer on your team.
They also got boned on that trade. All they got was Buddy Hield.
Who I
Buddy Hield
like.
is Buddy
I
Hield's
like
good,
Buddy
but
Hield.
like you didn't get much else back.
They got some draft picks. They have the top 7 pick in the draft tonight. Who knows?
Yeah, I
They
don't
did
think
not
they got
get-
completely, absolutely destroyed in that trade. I think the worst trade of the whole season was the Sixers trade.
Yeah, I agree.
Getting rid of Nerlens Noel.
Yeah.
Lakers.
Complete.
Yeah, you can't say complete for everything, bro.
I'm torn.
I'm gonna say success.
I'm gonna say failure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say failure because I feel like they should have been a little bit better than they were.
I wasn't
I'm gonna say
expecting anything
D'Lo-
better than this.
D'Lo stepped up.
We started so good.
Yes, you did. And then
Yeah.
you ran into the Western Conference,
No,
all the good teams.
We
early
ran
in the
into
season.
injuries.
That too.
And then once the injuries came, we were like, okay, you know what?
We're not a deep team.
We're not that well. No, and their bench proved something incredible. I think this was a great season for us, and I'm gonna say that because we started off incredible. Injuries came. We couldn't win with injuries because we needed every person in order to win a game. Once the injuries came, we were like, all right, you know what? We're not gonna be in the playoffs either way.
Yeah.
Let's take a step back and let's tank.
Yeah.
I think our future is incredible. Julius Randle proved that he is much more than just being another player on that team.
Yeah.
Lou Williams going proved that we're only about our future.
Yeah.
D'Angelo Russell proved
Stepped
that
up
he's a
completely.
star. Clarkson, he's on the fringe of leaving, but I don't know what's going to be up with him.
They need to get rid of Luol
I thought they
Deng
signed
and
him to a
Mozgov.
big contract.
Yeah, I know, but he doesn't want to be on the bench forever.
I think it's
either,
a success as well. Now that I think about it more often.
Then Zubik, who was our second rounder, came and did absolutely great work.
Yeah, did some numbers.
Yeah.
They need to get rid of Mozgov and Luol Deng, and hopefully they get Lonzo Ball because they will win a championship in the near future.
Yeah. I think these next options, San Antonio, Houston, Memphis.
Success for Spurs. What are they?
Success for Spurs.
San Antonio, Houston, Memphis, they're all successes. Easily.
They're all successes.
Okay.
I didn't know the other teams.
Okay, I thought you were trying to...
Oh, no.
Dallas Mavericks.
Failure.
Success.
Oh, they got that
How?
success.
They
got a
had
future.
no hope going into
They
here.
have a cornerstone at center now.
Who?
Nerlens Noel.
And Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, true.
Nerlens Noel is fantastic.
He might leave, though.
Harrison
He's not-
Harrison
not
Barnes
leaving.
panned out to be a great move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. He's great.
I think they're a success.
And they
Depends
absolutely
what they do in the offseason.
Because
they got a great Rick
They
Hollis.
fisted the Sixers. They fisted them on that trade, which is something crazy because the Sixers don't usually get that. That doesn't happen to the Sixers, and it only happens because Brian Colangelo is running the Sixers.
Yeah.
But
They have a good coach, Rick Carlisle.
they have a
Dirk
cornerstone
Nowitzki's
at center.
retiring. Who knows? They'll have a better
Now,
future.
last one, which I think is an easy success, New Orleans Pelicans.
Complete
Failure.
success.
Yeah, you got to be a success. You said failure? How so?
Bro, they have
They're a success just because of the moves they made.
They have the two best big men in the league. They have possibility of getting Chris Paul. They have no bench.
They better hope.
But they have Tim Frazier. They have all these dudes up and comers. They need to get rid of some expiring
Any
contracts.
team with Tim Frazier is a success.
Yeah,
All
they
right,
have some
let's
expensive
stop.
contracts. They need to get a more Ashik out of there and get some
Yeah, they
good
need to get
shooters
Ashik out
on
of
that
there.
team.
Ashik
And
is awful.
they'll definitely make the playoffs next season.
I thought
if they get Chris Paul.
I thought they should have done it this year, but
Well, you guys tell us who you deem as a success and failure.
The draft song. We gotta.
We are supposed to act like we recorded this after the draft. Do you not remember that one,
Oh yeah,
Jesse?
cut that out.
All right, so the draft came on a little later than what we expected.
Yeah.
So we came back and we tried to cover it up. It didn't work. That's why we're rushing right now. We gotta watch.
Jesse's a dumb fuck.
We gotta watch it. It's not even the draft. It's the lottery. Anyways, we gotta hurry up.
I got the notification.
We'll conclude this later. I don't gotta hit the whole spiel now. All right. You know what? Now we just look unprofessional. This is bad. This is your fault, Jesse.
I got the notification.
I'm not
Sorry.
cutting this shit out.
Whatever.
All right.
Deuces.
We back.
I got the notification.
All right. So yeah, we seen the lottery as you guys just heard earlier. We had to get the whole order a little bit fumbled up, and that's all Jesse's fault. So
I got excited.
he's making us do this again. But with all that being said, guys, thank you for listening. Who do you think had the successes and failures of this season? What do you guys think of the draft lottery? Who do you think are winning the conference finals? Many questions that we want to hear your answers on, so just definitely let us know down below. Will, thank you for being on here, stepping in, taking place of the mythical guy, Jesus.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. We'll probably have you on a bunch more episodes now that we're all up here. It works out pretty good. So, so if you guys like this podcast, leave a like, do all that good stuff, comment. If you have us both on SoundCloud and YouTube, SoundCloud might be a little easier, might be a little faster with the updates. We will try to keep them uploaded on both, but just because YouTube takes forever in a day. But yeah, follow us on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes under the name AllOfTheAboveEnt. Thank you guys for listening one more time. I am the voice of the youth Christian.
I'm Jesse.
And I'm Will.
And we are officially out. And it literally sounds like people are moving furniture upstairs. Yeah. It sounds terrible. Ignore them. We're recording this in my basement because we need a real studio.
Yeah. One day.
You guys have a good one.
We'll see you in a few days.
I don't know when we'll see them.
A few days.
Whenever.
We'll give an update on the conference finals.
Yeah, whenever we feel the need to talk about something new.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for the support.
Take that for data.